I've been getting this particular question over and over again in my inbox from a lot of people, and I decided to make a video about it. So, a lot of people have been asking me the immigration process from getting to Canada, from when you in your plane lands to passing the immigration and entering the country. So, I'm going to be telling you based on my own experience, okay? So, this is my personal experience, so you can also do your research. So first of all, I have to say that it's not a big deal. It's not as difficult as some people try to make it look. No, it's not. So when we got down from the plane, you get to the arrival hall, and there are some computers there. That's where you scan your passport. If you have something to declare, you're going to be asked, do you have something to declare? If you have, you declare it. If you don't have something to declare, then you can say no. Then answer everything that is asked there. Is just self-explanatory. You do this yourself, and then it's going to capture your face and then print out a piece of paper for you. So that's what you take to the next officer. So when you take that to the next people, they're going to ask you, okay, what brings you to Canada? Then you're going to remember this is Calgary Port of Entry, please. Calgary Port of Entry. It might apply to other province or other port of entry. I am not sure, but this is, I think it makes sense that it's going to be, I don't know, this was relatively easy, unlike some people have been saying, so it might differ. So they're going to ask you what brings you to Canada, how long do you plan to stay? Meanwhile, this how long do you plan to stay? If the self scanning, whatever, is going to ask you the same question. So you're going to tell them exactly what you've answered there. Okay, I'm going to be here for 2 days, I'm going to be here 1 year, I'm going to be here 6 months, whatever it is. You answer according to what applies to you. So, and he's going to ask you, and they're going to ask you, or they asked me, okay, how long do you plan to stay? What do you do? And I told them, and that's it. I moved to the next person, gave them the same paper. While I was asking, while they were asking me this question, I was answering. He was making some marks on the paper with blue ink, red ink. He didn't write anything. It was just marks on corners. I was just watching. So took that to the net. I think those people, they can interpret what it is, but I could not interpret it. I didn't have the time to read through the paper. So you take it to the next person. I'm trying to make this in one video, so don't mind me, I'm rushing. They're going to basically ask you the same question: what brings you to Canada? And they are all smiling. They are not aside of what brings you to Canada. No, is what brings you to Canada. They're smiling. You look them in the eye and you talk to them and answer truthfully. As long as you're not doing anything illegal, as long as you're not carrying anything illegal, as long as you have a valid visa, you shouldn't have any problems with them. So I answered the same question: did you bring any food? Which I said no, and all of that. Did you bring pomo? He asked me, I was surprised when he said pomo, and he pronounced it pomo. I said, this one, you don't see pomo where. So when he asked that, I said no. He said okay. He made his own markings too on the same paper. Then he said I can go clear my luggage. So when I got to where we were supposed to clear luggage, cleared my luggage, took my luggage. Then when I was about to leave, I met the same people again. So they will ask you, I think it's basically the same, although they didn't ask me for the third time because it was the same guy that asked me the second time that I met the third time. So he just said, okay, don't worry, you're clear, you can go. And I left. So before you now exit, you're going to meet some people at a desk. You're now going to give them the paper. Remember the tiny piece of paper that was printed out from the machine where you scanned your passport. So I gave it to them and I said, I asked, is that all? I said, yes, that's all. So I think the whole idea is just to be confident, look them in the eye, answer truthfully. As long as you have genuine reasons and you're not doing anything bad, you shouldn't have any. Remember, I tell people, these people are not there to stop you. They are there to make sure your documents are complete. Two, they are there to make sure you're not bringing anything illegal. They are there to make sure, and they're going to ask you, where do you intend to stay? If you have a hotel reservation, you can show them. if you're staying with someone, you can tell them whatever applies to you, just answer truthfully. So that's all. There is no big deal for me. I don't think there's a big deal. I don't think there's anything to panic about. You can be nervous because you are in a different environment entirely, but aside that, there is nothing to be afraid of. So I hope this answers your questions for those of you asking me inbox. So I try to answer this here so that everybody can also get the knowledge, and so that it won't look like I'm trying to ignore anybody's questions. So I hope this answers your questions. So I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.